Hello parents! The video today is to answer some common questions I encounter when I tell parents that their child is ready to take piano exams. Or even parents are ready when they enroll the child on his first piano lesson, already want to know when is my child gonna be ready for exams. So some parents I know are more eager than others for children to take exams. Some parents, they just don't mind, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna talk about a bit of taking of this question as well. Should your child take exam or should he or she not? So the first most common question I have: when my child will be ready to take the exam? First of all, the child will be ready to take the exam after she finishes the second beginner's book. When she reads the end of Me and My Piano 2, that's the second piano beginner's book I use, she will be ready to start preparing for the first exam, because at the end of this book she already has enough technique and musical knowledge to be prepared for the first exam. Now, some parents prefer the child to not take any exams. It's completely okay, there's no problem with that at all. Still, if the child doesn't take any exams, she will go over like stages, piano technique stages, complete each book and have a sense of completion at the end of each book. Usually they have a certificate at the end. They'll give the certificate to the child, so she feels, and parents, teachers, and children can feel they are going somewhere. So you have all those stages as well, but it doesn't have to take, you don't have to put your child through exams to become a very proficient pianist, for example. It's completely unnecessary for this purpose, okay? So if she one day is gonna be a professional, there is no need. Now, but most parents like the children to take the exams. The exams are good as well because here in this country, most children take the exams, so they will talk to their friends as well. I am on this grade, I'm on that. There is a bit of competition, and I think it's a very healthy competition, because I have children whose friends are on a level above, 2 levels above, or are taking the same exams, and many children, they put much more effort to pass to the next level, to go quicker to the next level. So they start practicing more and with more focus and attention, because they want to be as good as the other friend, or they want to be at the same level as the other friend is already. So this is a very good and healthy competition. Yeah, is this thing that we say, if you go with people that are better than you, they will help you to become better. So if they are already ahead and they have more skills, and they can inspire your child, those other friends can inspire your child in this healthy competition, I think is a very good and valid point. The two most common exams we have in UK are the ABRSM exams and the Trinity exams. I use the ABRSM exams. That's the model that I follow. ABRSM currently offers two types of exams: the practical and the performance exams. There is no difference in punctuation. There is no discrimination between them, saying that, oh, practical, you get more points than the other is. No, they have the same level. The examiners will look through the exams with the same care, and they have the same level, the same standard. They hold the same standard. But then, what is the difference between them? The practical is the most common one. The performance one, they came up with that during the COVID, because it was not possible to go to a venue for the child to take the exam. And then they did this online, the recording exam they called performance. The practical exam consists of 4 parts. The first one, the child will have to play 3 musics from a syllabus published by ABRSM. So you choose three musics, one from A, from B, and from C list. Usually I will choose I would say the ones that are they can handle, because there are some that are much more difficult, so I prefer them not to do on the first exam. Second part of the exam, scales and arpeggios. So we'll be doing scales and arpeggios, practicing. The ABRSM also offers the book they want the children to play, and it must be by heart. Simple scales and arpeggios. Then the third part of the exam, sight reading. What is sight reading? It's how well your child can read a music they never saw before on the first time they play. There is a standard from each grade, and then I always ask parents to buy a book called Improve Your Sight Reading by Paul Harris. When the child reaches stage 7, 8 from this book, means she already reached the stage they ask on the exam. Okay. Fourth point of the exam is the listening test, the oral abilities of your child. How good she is with rhythm, with listening, with perception of music, of the sound. So they will play music, and a piece of music, ask them to clap while they play, clap the beats, tell them if which was 2 or 3 times in a bar. Ask questions about dynamics, about articulation, about tempo later on. So is more, and playing some music and ask what is the difference between this and that. That is the fourth part of the exam. Okay, all the parts all together makes to 150 points. A child has to get at least 100 points to pass, between 120 and 129 to get merit, and 130 to 150 to get distinction. Okay, this is the practical exam. It's face to face. Later on, I'm going to explain about the booking system. What about the performance exam? Instead of playing 3 musics, the child will have to play 4 musics. It's also 150 points. Each music is 30 points, and the remaining 30 points, the examiner will evaluate the child's performance as a whole during the recording. So it's a recording exam. There is a little presentation at the beginning about the child, the instrument she's playing, and the music she's gonna play. Then she plays. At the end, thanks to the turn to the camera and say thank you to the examiner. Then there's a whole performance ritual that we practice as well as part of the exam. Okay, it goes for the practical as well, but the recording, because this counts as points, they're gonna mark it as well. It's extremely important we practice all this ritual together several times when it's time to record for the exam. So that's the practical exam. Then comes the question, which exam should my child take? Practical or performance exam? It depends of a few variables, like for example, age of the child, because I say when they are in primary school, they have more time. When they are in secondary school, depends of the year they are. I know it's very stressful. There are lots of exams, lots of homework, and a practical exam might be too much for some of them. It might be too stressful, so it's better to go for the recording, for the performance, for example. Another factor is, depends the child's and the parents' goals for the child in relation to the instruments they are playing. Why do you want your child to play the piano? Because if something more relaxed, that you don't want to put too much pressure but want her to go through the exams, I would say go for the performance exams. It's less things to study, but I have to tell you, during the recording period, it's quite stressful. It might take many lessons for us to get a very good recording. It depends of actually, when it's grade 1, we usually take the recording, good recording with 1 or 2 lessons. But when it's grade 4 and above, sometimes takes a whole month to get a good recording. But a whole month, I mean once a week during the child's lesson, trying to record and get one good. Depends how long is the child's lesson, and then it depends very much. But in the lower grades, grade 4 and below, 5, 4, 5 and below, it's less stressful, but we're gonna spend some lessons trying to record it for sure, okay, and work on the whole posture and performance and everything. Now, another factor is, if the child is very talented, and I see that she has great potential, I prefer her to take the practical exam. Why? Because for a young musician, it's much better to take the practical, because she has to do sight reading already, all scales and arpeggios for the exam. She has to do the orals, so it works on another whole level, seeing as the child already as a proper musician and working all those sides of music. Okay, so it's for their musical development is much better the practical exam. Now, if I see that's a child that will struggle too much with everything, it will take too long and make her too frustrated, I would prefer the performance exam, because not only the child but parents will be frustrated, teacher will be frustrated, everybody will be frustrated, and you take much longer to get results, to get the child ready for the exam. So I might suggest to the parents, of course, come to me with your idea, what you prefer, practical performance. But from the lessons, from teaching a child for a while to be ready to be prepared for an exam, I already will have a good idea if the child would do best doing the practical or the performance. It's not that a child if I suggest your child should take the performance exam, it doesn't mean that she's too behind, that I don't believe she's capable of the practical exam. No, it's not that. She is. But you take much, much longer to take the exam. And if the child is a child that is doing piano more like for fun or to relax or to have something extra, is not something more strict and serious, so I stress too much and take the practical when you could take the performance exam. It's something for you to parents to decide as well. I will suggest what I prefer for the child, and if you suggest otherwise, it's fine. Okay, so it's something we can discuss and agree upon, no problem at all. When I see a child is ready to take the exam, let's talk about the practical exam. The practical exam happens 3 times a year: end of spring, end of summer, and end of autumn term. So it's March, and then you have a June, July, and November, December. What happens? Months ahead of the exam, I will know if the child will be ready. Let's say now, okay? Let's say we are now in April. Deadline to apply for the exams is beginning of May. But by now, the child's not ready. But I know that in 1-2 months, she will be ready. So I'm gonna apply now, and she'll take the exam in July. Okay. So for the practical, I tell you parents, look, your child will be ready to take the exam in December. So we have to apply in September for the exam. Then she can take the exam in December. Okay. Now, the performance exam, the booking system is completely different. You can take the exam today, for example. You just apply. It's always open to applications. You apply and send the recording, and that's it. And they mark and come back to me. I give you the result, and then I give you the certificate. How does it work? I have my ABRSM account as a tutor, so I apply for my students myself. You transfer the money, I apply for your child. I send you the receipt of payment. Okay, With the recording, let's say, for example, today we got a very good recording, it's very good level recording, and this is the one I'm gonna send for marking. Then I will talk to you, parent. You transfer the application fee, the money to me. I transfer to ABRSM. I make the application. I send you the receipt of application. Then after applying on the same day, I already send the recording to them, to ABRSM. Currently, they are marking results the exams really quickly. In less than a week, I already have the results usually. Okay, they mark. Let's say next week they send to my account the result. I send to you. And after 2 weeks, and within 2 weeks after they releasing the results, they send to my house the certificate, your child's certificate for grade 1, for example. Then I'm gonna give to them. Okay, next time I see you, or if your child have lessons at school, I bring to school to your child, and then you have the certificate. They have the certificate, and that's it. And then you're already being preparing for the next grade, for grade 2. Sometimes between grades, I see that a child needs more time to mature, to learn more things in between grades before going straight away to grade 2. So I might work with some techniques, some other music aspects with your child, of her development, before you head straight away to grade 2. And one more thing as a tutor that I would like to talk to you parents, and also I'm sure other tutors have been on this situation as well. Some parents put a lot of pressure on the tutor for the child to take grades as soon as possible. When the child is ready, the tutor, his teacher will know when the child is ready to be prepared for exams. When she reached the level, this is good enough, let's start preparing for exams, the teacher will know. And when she has everything in place, everything is good enough to be recorded or to be present face to face to an examiner, to external examiner, the tutor will know and will communicate parents. So patience is very important in this whole process. The tutor, I will communicate to you, she's ready, he's ready, let's book, let's record it, let's do it. Okay, so don't worry about that. Let it go. Relax. Let me worry about these things, but relax. When he is ready, I will tell you and we will apply for the exam. What I don't want is to apply for an exam when the child is actually not ready. She fails the exam, and then imagine the frustration the child, parents, and tutor will feel. So to avoid all this, let me handle all the timeline for the exam, and everything is gonna run smooth and fine. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. If there is any other question I haven't answered after this video, feel free to contact me. Okay, thank you.